Hey guys, this is Brian from Make Room at Eline Media. If you're just beginning to program, you're about to be introduced to some technical concepts like programming languages, syntax, and conditional statements. But before you dive into the details of programming, it can be a good idea to take a few steps back and talk about how computers do what they do. Even though you've been using computers your entire life, I bet this topic is one you haven't thought much about. Fortunately, this isn't such a complex topic because it turns out that every computer system does fundamentally the same thing, or really the same sequence of three things. First, the computer accepts input. All computer systems have a way of obtaining information from the world outside the computer. The most familiar examples of this are the input devices people use: keyboards, mice, touchscreens, and controllers, for example. Next, the computer processes that information. All computers do something with the information they obtain in the first step. The something varies depending on the purpose of the computer system and program in question, but it is always something that contributes to the user's ultimate purpose in using the computer system. Finally, a computer system needs a way to share the result of its information processing with the outside world, known as producing output. As with input devices, you're already familiar with many of the ways computer systems share output. Screens, sound-producing devices like headphones and speakers, and printers are all examples of output devices. You can probably start to see how this applies to games. When you play a game on a home console, the game accepts input from your controller. It processes that input according to the instructions provided by the game's developers to create and update the game world. The game world is then displayed as visual output on your TV screen or monitor and as audio output on your headphones or speakers. Even though they are very complex and can perform certain tasks much more accurately and efficiently than humans, the way in which computers do their job is much simpler and better understood than the workings of the human mind. All the vastly different, complicated, and amazing things computers do, from giving us driving directions to creating beautiful 3D worlds, all boil down to the one and only way in which computers work. Computers follow instructions. That's it. In computer science, a set of instructions to perform a specific task is known as an algorithm. Fundamentally, a computer algorithm is no different than, say, the set of instructions you might give a friend if they asked you how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. When you string a bunch of algorithms together to do something complex like create an entire game, the whole set of instructions is what we call a computer program. Now, the instructions contained in a video game are quite a bit more complex than the recipe for even the most difficult-to-make sandwich. They support advanced capabilities like jumping from one place to another, reusing the same set of instructions over and over again, specifying different sets of instructions that can be followed under different circumstances, and more. Fortunately for beginning developers, there's a relatively small set of core concepts and techniques that underlie all the amazing capabilities of modern software and games. As you make your first few games, you'll have a chance to learn most of these core concepts.